Gavin. All right, we will call this meeting to order. If you will please stand and join me for the Pledge of Allegiance, followed by a moment of silent reflection. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. You may be seated. All right, Mrs. Roberts, if you will call the roll, please.
Mrs. Conrad Zangmeister.
Here.
Mr. Hoffman is absent. Mrs. Johns.
Here.
Mr. Kimmer.
Here.
Mr. Smeltzer.
Here.
Okay, that moves us into 1.5, which is the minutes from our April 27th meeting. I believe everybody's had a chance to review those. If there's no discussion or corrections, I'd entertain a motion to approve.
So moved.
Moved by Mrs. Conrad Zangmeister,
Second.
second by Mr. Smeltzer. Mrs. Roberts, call the roll, please.
Mrs. Conrad Zangmeister.
Yes.
Mr. Smeltzer.
Yes.
Mrs. Johns.
Yes.
Mr. Kimmer.
Yes.
Okay, motion approved. That moves us to 1.6, adjustments to the agenda. Mr. Belleville, are there any adjustments?
No adjustments at this time?
Okay. Then moving right on to 2.1, superintendent updates. Mr. Belleville?
Thank you, Ms. Johns. Appreciate everybody being here this evening, and just want to hit on a couple of highlights real quick and then keep moving. I know the principals have a lot of material to present this evening, and want to make sure we give them plenty of time. Ms. Hans wanting to jump the gun a little quick, but it's all right. Starting off, want to give notice to two groups in particular. Last week was National Bus Driver Appreciation Day, and then the state of Ohio has a specific day, which is May 4th, for Bus Driver Appreciation Day. And then this week is also designated National Teacher Appreciation Week, with tomorrow being Teacher Appreciation Day. So just want to call out our bus drivers, our teachers, and really, you know, on Teacher Appreciation Week, we like to include all of our staff members, aides, support staff, those type of things. Just the incredible job all of those people do each and every day for this district, our community, and most importantly, our students. Shared a message with staff today, you know, more so than being the superintendent. As a parent of a student in this district, I'm so appreciative of our staff and the people here, and just what they mean to our kids and the impact they have on our students' lives. It truly is inspirational, special, and we're blessed to have the staff that we have. So just wanted to start with that. The agenda, we have three individuals that are here this evening that we'll talk about in a little bit more detail as we get to those spots in the agenda. But you know, we reflect on our staff today and share our appreciation for them, and I'm really excited to have our staff grow a little bit tonight. And we're bringing on three individuals that are truly transformative and special people, and excited to bring them on board and talk a little bit more about them as we get to those spots in the agenda. You also notice 2.2 on the agenda, Assembly Transition Summary Report. Board Docs and OSBA have transitioned to move all board policy manuals to Assembly. It's just the name of the platform that houses the Board Doc Policy Manual. And in making that transition, they are basically re-lettering all of the policies just to reduce on redundancy. Last board meeting, if you recall, we rescinded a couple policies that showed up in other places. In the old board policy manual, many times you would look up a policy and it would say also known as, or see also, and it would have a second policy in it the policy said the same thing, it was just found in 2 locations. Well, a lot of times that would lead to confusion, and you would tell somebody, you need to look up the policy on, the grading policy and the board policy manual. Well, they would go and it'd be listed in 2 places, and they wouldn't know which one to look at. They actually would say the exact same thing. So in moving to the new platform, they are clearing away all of the redundancy and just kind of lettering everything so that it just makes a little bit more sense, easier to find. We are in the middle of getting the new policy platform up and running, and I've been in it and worked with it a little bit. It is very user-friendly, easy to find things. I think it'll be helpful moving forward. Just take a little bit of adjustment getting used to the new policy manual. So in 2.2, basically just a summary of everything I just explained. So you can read through that. If you have specific questions, I'd be more than happy to answer them. And then last thing I have this evening, just want to remind everyone, our next board meeting will be May 18th, and it will be the State of Schools. We'll host that in the Robert Turkey Performing Arts Center at Fairfield Union High School. And it's going to be a little bit different this year than years past. Our board meeting will actually be the State of Schools. So we'll start out like a normal board meeting, taking roll, those type of things. Then we'll transition into the State of Schools and then come back as a board to finish out the meeting. And I think it's going to be a really special evening. Highlight being our media classes completely running the event and producing the board meeting / State of Schools, and I think that's going to be just an incredible experience for our students, for the high school staff and all the work that they've put into that, as well as just for our community and increasing student involvement in the process. So looking forward to that. Also a little nervous just because it's new and the first time doing it this way. So we'll see how it goes, and then we'll make adjustments as needed as we move forward in the future. So any questions? All right. Thank you.
So then, moving on to 2.2, the Assembly Transition Summary, is there anything specific you need to talk to us about in regard to that, Mr. Belleville, or?
No, ma'am, just reading through it, it's more of just an informational piece for the board, and the packet that is included actually has all of the new lettering that will be in that policy manual. So it's kind of a little cheat sheet, and that is available on the Board Docs website, so anyone in the community will be able to look through that as well and help find things in the new board policy manual.
All right, then we will move on to 3.1, public comment.
No one signed.
Nobody signed in, okay. So moving on to 4.1, the administrator reports. And even though she was trying to get ahead of things, I think we're starting with Mr. Schaefer. Mrs. On has to wait one.
Good evening, everyone. Obviously, pretty busy time at the high school as we're getting ready to head into graduation. So just some updates. Obviously, the State of the Schools will recap the year as a whole, but just some information wanted to give out tonight. So we did conclude state testing today. So I went back and looked. We gave out like they were presents, but we gave out 920 individual tests over that window of time there. So really proud of the staff and the students. Just their approach to testing was top notch. We're excited to see those scores come back in. Then as soon as we're done with that one, starting tomorrow, Mr. DeStadio will be in the building. We'll start AP testing tomorrow. So just kind of from one on into the next. Just excited to see how the kids do with that. Over the weekend, we did have prom out at the barn at the Backwoods. We had 282 students in attendance for prom, so a pretty high number. It was an outstanding evening. The weather was a little chilly, but not too bad. But the thing I think to highlight the most there is Backwoods, they usually host about 5 to 8 proms a year, and we had multiple staff members come up to us throughout the evening and just said, "Your kids are the most polite kids we've had." They thanked everybody. There wasn't a lot of cleanup there. So just again, not that it's surprising when we get those, but just good to highlight the attitude and the performance of our students when they go out in the public and go into some different venues. It's just good to hear that they've met those expectations. So proud of them. We had a number of staff that came out to chaperone the evening, so it was a very good night there on Saturday night. The groups I wanted to highlight tonight are our co-curriculars. They're kind of in their competition. We've got some groups in state level and some national level, so just wanted to highlight some of those. We talked about FCCLA recently. They just concluded their state competition there. Every single student that they took received a first place finish there, so they're all eligible to go on to nationals from there. I've got Zaylee Bojanowski and Lily Bates. They were together on a project of Promote and Publicize. They received first place. Caitlin Mongold, Lydia Valentine, and Sophia Lee had a chapter review portfolio that also received first place. Aubrey Smith and Rylan Bowen had another chapter review portfolio that received first place. And Kaylee Sheets had a public policy advocacy project that received first place. So all of those students were eligible to move on to nationals. Sounds like 6 of them have it in their summer schedules to go out to Washington, D.C. The week of the 5th. So we're excited to see them compete on the national level. Last week, DECA was in Atlanta, Georgia for their national level competition. This is a crazy one here. So Annalise Berry competed of the Principles of Marketing. And she was identified as an ICDC finalist, which means that she had to go back for a second round. At the conclusion of her second round, she was identified as a top 10 in the nation, a top 10 finisher. So we had to wait and see how she did globally. And she finished 4th in the world in her area of competition. So really, really impressed by not just Annalise, but the DECA chapter as a whole. We also had 2 students, Sophia Lee and Aubrey Anderson, who also went to nationals. They participated in the Thrive Leadership Academy, so it kind of goes side by side with the national competition. Just some team building, some leadership stuff that they went through. Really great sessions for them. We're excited to see them kind of moving into some leadership roles there next year. And then just to highlight again, I saw a few of you there this morning, but today we also, on top of that, they were gone, came back in, and within a couple of days of being back in, today, DECA opened the school store, had a nice ribbon cutting ceremony with the Chamber of Commerce. So again, it's a busy time for them, but just to see all the things that they're doing is just great. In FFA, we had state convention last week, and so we have a number here. So proficiency awards, Daniel Householder received first place, Mason Springer 4th in the state, and Remy Rochon 4th in the state for proficiency. We had some officer books that received gold ratings, Madeline Fox, Julia Barber, and Summer Barrett. All of their books received gold level there. The CDE, we had forestry. They got first in the state. Mason Springer was first in the state individually in forestry. Jacob Spangler, 5th in the state individually. Kate Springer, 8th in the state individually. And Maddie Pack, 12th in the state individually out of that first place team. So pretty proud of them there. Our environmental natural resources team also received first place in the state. So proud of them for that. Mason Springer, see his name popping up here multiple times, 4th in the state for him individually. Tyler Burnworth received 12th in the state. Owen Huber was 3rd place on that team, and Jacob Spangler was 4th on that team. And then a kind of a unique one here, we had a few students who were band students who actually went to the state convention and participated in the FFA state band. So Hannah Draper on the flute and Sarah Orr on the clarinet. So just kind of interesting to see our music students who are also in ag have an opportunity to perform at the state. The OMEA contest, the choir OMEA, we did have the ability to host. It was a phenomenal evening. So out of 12 other schools, we hosted on the 24th of April. All 3 of our choirs, women's ensemble, men's ensemble, and assembly singers, all received superior rating, which is the highest rating that they can. So that is now the 2nd consecutive year that they have received superior ratings. So it's good to see all their hard work paying off. The day after we hosted, had a lot of these students in attendance helping with the event. Our band students who had received superior ratings at the district level, they competed in their state OMEA and received an excellent rating, so a 2 in their OMEA. So just all of our co-curriculars right now, we talk a lot about athletics and co-curriculars. They're all, closing out the year at a very high level, so very proud of that. Just got some dates to highlight here. Would like to invite everybody to attend our senior awards. That is going to be on Sunday, the 17th at 4 o'clock. So hope to see everybody there. We're trying to kind of ramp that up a little bit more than usual. It's always a great night, but we're just going to try to recognize all of the great things that our students have accomplished this year. Again, that's the 17th at 4 p.m. in the auditorium. We do have graduation practice, and clap out ceremonies on the 18th, which we will have our final clap out at the high school around 1 o'clock in the afternoon there. Then on the 24th, we have baccalaureate at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. They are led by the students, followed by our graduation ceremonies at 6 p.m. Hopefully, at the football field, so at the stadium. So it's a exciting time at the high school. Have lots going on. So, any questions?
What's our number graduating? Do you know?
Yeah, it's 100 and I want to say 154,
Okay.
I think. So pretty good sized class. Yeah. All right.
Thank you, Mr. Schaefer. Mrs. Hahn, Rushville Middle School.
Hi, good evening. I just want to thank our teachers as we are celebrating Teacher Appreciation Week. Just in like Mr. Bello said, it's our paraprofessionals, everyone who works together as a team, just to make sure that we can get everything done that we have to get done during the day. I do want to just real quick give you an athletic update for our spring sports. This is our last week for middle school, so we're kind of coming to an end. They have either finished their season or they have like one more game or one more event left. So softball finished very strong with a 13-2-1 season. 7th grade baseball struggled a little bit, but they pulled out 3 wins. 8th grade baseball finished 10-4, and then for track at the MSL, our boys took home 4th place and our girls were the runner-up. So pretty good showing overall for the spring. I did mention the last time that we did an update, we have a BOGO event this week at the middle school for our book fair. So I am excited for kids to be able to come in and buy a book and get one free. Hopefully they can stock up on some good reading material for the summer and take all of those home to continue reading. I want to thank Mrs. Strawn especially. She has set up a beautiful book fair for the kids. So we're just looking forward to them, getting some books in their hands. Tomorrow we have our Real Money, Real World activity that's going to be taking place at the Activity Center. This is a partnership with The Ohio State University and their extension office, and we have lovely volunteers from around the community who come in and they help with this simulation where students get like a pretend spouse and family, and then they have a job where they have a set income and they have to get insurance and buy a home and understand how to budget their money, and then see at the end of the month if they have anything left for entertainment. So it's a really good exercise for our 7th graders to do. Mr. Burke brings over all of his math classes for that. So they've been prepping in the days to come to get ready for this event. So that's always a fun event for them.
What time's that starting?
It's every period of the day tomorrow, so starting at 7:30 throughout the day. We have our 7th and 8th grade band and choir concert Wednesday evening at 6 p.m. at the high school. On the 7th, our Leo Club will be going to both of the elementaries. They have been working hard on blankets for the preschool kids, and so they'll be able to present those to the preschool students and, do some little reading and different things with them, so they're excited about that. We do have our Tiki bowling trip later this week as well. Our 5th and 6th grade go together on Thursday, and then 7th and 8th grade go together on Friday. And this was an incentive that the students earned 3rd quarter. So we've been doing this the past several years, and the kids have a blast. On May 11th, our 7th grade, Mrs. King and Ms. Forsyth have been working with our students to create children's books. So next week on the 11th and then on the 13th, they're going to be going to the elementaries. They're visiting Bremen on Monday, and then on the 13th they're going to Pleasantville. So lots of partnerships going on between our building and the elementaries, and also with the high school here over the next several weeks. We have our National Junior Honor Society induction on the 11th at 6 p.m. in our gymnasium. It's one of my favorite events for the year. I just feel like the kids who've worked so hard and they get to accomplish being into that group, and so it's a really fun event for them. We have our 5th and 6th grade band and choir concert on the evening of the 12th, again at the high school. And on the 13th, our 8th grade will be visiting the high school. So we have 2 sessions where we have a morning session and an afternoon session. So our 8th graders will go over to the high school. I know that Mr. Schaefer is, their leadership program there is in charge of that day for our kids. So the kids will be, and that leadership program will be showing our kids around and taking them around the high school and introducing them to staff members and so forth. So our 8th graders, that's always a great event for them to go over and see what's coming down the road for them in just a couple of months. We are having the Hope Squad from the high school come over on the 14th to visit all of our social studies classes. So Miss Rogers has taken her group and she has split them up, and they'll be coming over to our social studies to share their message about the Hope Squad and what they do at the high school, and doing a little mini lessons for our students while they have, instead of their social studies for that day. Couple other things, we have our Power of the Pen state competition at Ashland University. That's going to be May 18th. That's real late in the year, but we're looking for them to do extremely well like they do every year. And then we do have a couple other little partnership opportunities for our National Junior Honor Society. They're going to be going to Bremen on the 19th and then to Pleasantville on the 20th to help with their field day. So our kids go to those elementaries to help with their field day. And then last thing is we have on the last day of school, all of our end of the year assemblies will be that day, and we have our 8th grade breakfast. That starts at 7:30, and that's just a special event for our 8th graders. It's kind of our tribute to them on their very last day of middle school. So it's always a really nice event for our 8th graders. So, any questions? Okay.
Thank you, Mrs. Hahn.
You're welcome.
Mr. Knott.
Yay. I really have the boring stuff. The principals have the fun stuff, but here it is. Good news, state testing is finished at elementary levels. Rumor has it the state was honest with us. We will have all that by the end of the month, so we'll know where we stand. Just a quick shout out. I was in both buildings briefly at Bremen today, mostly at Pleasantville today. Thank you to our PTOs for really working hard at spoiling our staff this week. Both staff certainly deserve that. So thanks to those folks, because that's a lot of work to get it together and to get it out. So thanks to those. The late spring window that we've talked about for STAR, for those kids that haven't met their growth goal, that wraps up this Friday, and then I'll kind of crunch all that data and we'll see where we are. So far, just peeking at it, it's looking good. It looks like those kiddos are making those growths that we were hoping for. So that makes me very, very happy. The STAR alternate test, so the once we wrap that one up, we'll start this other test. This is just for 3rd grade. This is part of that 3rd grade guarantee. So the kiddos who did not have a passing score in the fall has a chance to take an alternate test. It's our STAR test. It's a little bit longer than what they're used to because it encompasses a little bit more detail than what the other STARs. And we'll give that over the next week starting Wednesday, and we'll see where they shake out. It's one of those toss-ups. A lot of these kiddos will probably have passed the spring test, but we don't know that yet. And just because we want families to have transparency from us, we go ahead and give this assessment too, so we have additional information to share with families if we need it. So that's the kind of but I feel like I would rather have too much information and be able to have really good conversations with families if we need to. So that's pretty much all. We're wrapping up all the data. Teachers are wrapping up their units. This is that time of year where they're going to be a little bit more creative because we've wrapped up the main core things, and so they've got a few more standards they're working on. They're wrapping up these units, and you get to see a lot more hands-on stuff, and so it's an exciting time. Thanks.
Thank you. All right, Mr. Montgomery.
If I can just stop falling. All right, there we go. All right, so starting off today, we had our COSI field trip for 4th grade. Talking to the kiddos when they came back, sounded like they had a lot of fun. Saw some pictures from parents and stuff, so it looked like a really good time. Today was also Star Wars Day, so I was not dressed like this the whole day. I was dressed like a Jedi and with lightsabers and everything. So like Mr. Knott said, Teacher Appreciation Week this week. PTO went all out, drinks, snacks, coffee, food trucks, everything, so they really deserve it. So tomorrow is our 4th grade testing reward party. So we did that with 3rd grade last week. So any student that their teachers felt that they put in the effort and really did their best, they got to participate in this. What we did was Mario Kart on the big projector in the lunchroom, and then also board games for the students who want to do other stuff, and Just Dance on a TV off the side. 3rd grade had a ton of fun with this, so it went really well last week, so I'm really looking forward to it tomorrow. Also tomorrow, I had a student that for over the last couple months named Braxton Loper. He's just really wanted to do something for the teachers. He's like, I think we need to do tacos for the teachers. I'm like, okay, we'll do that on Cinco de Mayo. And every single day for the last 2 months, he's been like, what are we doing? What are we doing? And so we got this plan. He gave out flyers to each of the teachers. He's had them check mark all the stuff. And so teachers placed their orders. I'm going to cook it all tomorrow morning. And then he and the rest of the leadership lunch, because tomorrow the focus is generosity and giving back, they're all going to help deliver those. So That'll be cool. And then so upcoming events, band fittings on Friday. And then, like she said, on the 11th, creative writing from the middle school with 7th graders. On the 13th at 2:30, we have our bank day party. And then on the 13th, 14th, and 15th, we have our 3rd grade field trips to Wakena. And then on the 19th, we have our field day, which I will be participating in the dunk tanks. So good times there. Do you guys have any questions for me?
Mr. Knott's gonna help you cook in the morning, right?
Yes, absolutely. That's
What do you need?
binding. That's
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
There you go.
All right, and Mrs. Tokars.
All right, well, happy Monday. I'll just reiterate what everyone said. We are so proud to celebrate our teachers this week for Teacher Appreciation. As you know, teaching is deeply meaningful work, but it is incredibly demanding. Each day, our educators balance rigorous academic expectations. They meet the diverse needs of every learner. They provide emotional support. They build strong relationships with students and families. It is complex, but it is rewarding, and we are so grateful for the dedication and the resilience that the staff of Pleasantville bring to us each and every day, and it is my honor and the honor of the PTO to celebrate and pour into them this week. So we are having a great time. We created a 5-star resort at Pleasantville, so teachers rolled in with their teacher bag rolling suitcases this morning to a complimentary breakfast, and it's going to be a fun week. We're excited. Tomorrow's inflatable day. PTO is bringing us that. Our students are super excited, and Kona Ice is coming to give a fun treat. Maybe the weather will cooperate. If you're available, we'd love to have you join us for some Kona Ice. Mr. Kimmer, I think you came last year. You did. Later this week, our students are going to plant a flower for a special lady in their lives, giving them a hands-on opportunity to celebrate and create something meaningful for Mother's Day. So we're excited about that. Our school calendar is full. Our 3rd graders visited the Land Lab today. They had a great time. They're looking forward to their upcoming COSI trip next week. Our 4th grade band fittings are taking place this Thursday. And our 4th graders will also be visiting the Living Historical Farm at Slate Run. And of course, they'll be traveling to the middle school to help ease their transition for next school year. Our 1st graders are eagerly anticipating their trip to the zoo. We are also preparing for several important school-wide events. Our health fair will be on May 15th. It will be a fantastic experience for our students, thanks to the leadership of Mrs. Thompson. We have so many wonderful community partners. We're so grateful for all of them. We have South Central Power, Fairfield County Beekeepers, the Fairfield County Sheriff's Department, the YMCA, the Fairfield Soil and Water Conservation District. So we have over 15 partners coming. And fingers crossed that the air evac will get to land in the playground this year. They had an emergency run 2 years ago, so we are hoping that they get to come this year. Field day is also quickly approaching, and as always, that is a highlight for the year, especially the ever popular dunk tank. We are taking volunteers, so anybody that wants to volunteer to sit in the dunk tank. I know that the staff is really hoping that Mr. Belleville signs up, so.
I think I'm busy that day. What day is it?
I'll let you know. Additionally, we look forward to our Q4 SOAR assembly this Friday at 9:45 a.m., where we get to celebrate student growth and achievement. We are so excited for State of the Schools, where we'll get to showcase all of the many great things happening at Pleasantville, including all of our collaboration with Mr. Purdue's media students who supported the creation of this year's yearbook. It was amazing and captured special moments throughout the year. They made a video of our pep rally. I'm so excited to share that with you. May is a joyful and busy time of year in our school community. It's a season to reflect on growth and celebrate accomplishments and continue learning right till the very last day. As we approach summer, we are excited to launch our summer reading challenge. As educators, we know the importance of continued reading to prevent the summer slide. So we look forward to encouraging our students to stay engaged with books all summer long. What questions do you have for me?
On your summer reading program, will teachers track that in some way? You know, like what do kids have?
Mrs. Farr has helped me create a fun reading challenge, and Mrs. Montgomery helped weigh in on that, and so we made it go along with our theme for next year, and so we create it so it's in a bookmark form, and we have a K through 2nd grade and then a 3rd and 4th grade, and they have to read so much each week and track that on their bookmark, and then they get to bring it back to school in the fall, and they get a free book from the book fair.
Nice.
So
Thank you very much.
thank you so much.
Ms. Johns, I have one more item, and Mr. Schaefer may have covered it, and I just missed it, but just want to throw out there that May 15th will be Drive Your Tractor to School Day. We'll send a message out on the 14th to let the community know. Always an incredible day, exciting, but a little bit of traffic in the morning. So want to put a little bit of a note out there to the community to plan ahead. So that'd be May 15th.
All right.
I just like to say to administrators, woo! My goodness, how busy you all are. Yeah, and as I was listening to all of you, what busy schedules you have, and I appreciate everything. So just like, wow.
Alrighty, well, that moves us to 5.1, the financial items. This is also, I think, when administrators may leave if they would like to. I know we're welcoming some new people though, so some of them might be staying,
around,
but,
yeah.
so. Alrighty, so 5.1, financial items.
All right, so we just have one item this evening, one donation. We do have a donation of $1,200 worth of tools, actually to our high school ag department, by Steve Sargent, which, I can never pronounce this, Smurfit West Rock. So thank you to them. I know, the teachers were very excited to receive some of those items, so very, very appreciative. That is all for this evening. We just closed, the month of April late on Friday. So those reports won't be the next board meeting, but the board meeting after, so we'll double up on some of that.
All right, well, thank you. And I guess that brings us to 5.2, the approval of the consent agenda.
I move to approve the consent agenda items recommended by the superintendent and treasurer.
Okay, motion by Mr. Kemmer. Will there be a second?
I will second.
Second, Mrs. Conrad Zangmeister. Mrs. Roberts?
Mr. Kimmerer,
Yes.
Mrs. Conrad Zangmeister,
Yes.
Mrs. Johns,
Yes.
Mr. Smeltzer.
Yes.
All right. Motion passed. That takes us to 6.1, teacher contract. We have a motion to approve a 1-year teacher contract for Jelaine Predmore, which I believe I read is, you prefer Lane, is that right? So, at Bremen Elementary. Would there be a motion to approve? Mr. Bellman?
Ms. Johns, just real quick, just wanna, there are times you interview people and you know it's a great interview, you know it's the person is a good fit for the district, cause you can just, you see the energy, the spirit, so on and so forth. But I wanna call attention to one particular story that Lane shared with us during the interview, and when I heard the story, it was like that aha moment where you just know. And Lane was telling us about a student she has in her class, and just had noticed that the student had some needs that went beyond books. She's currently working with a kindergarten class and just a student that needed some extra attention, and she had developed a routine schedule to not draw a lot of attention to the student, but allowed for time for the student to exit class very quietly, unassuming, where another staff member would help out, just brush hair, fix it for the day, whether ponytail, pigtails, bun, whatever, and then work the student back into the classroom. And she talked about the difference in the student's interaction with classmates, her activity in the class, her performance, and how those things picked up just as her self-confidence picked up. And you hear stories like that, and we preach in this district, and we embrace it, that it's all about the whole child and taking care of the kids first and foremost, letting them know that they're loved and safe and wanted, and they're here. And hearing her tell that story, just someone who went out of their way to find a way to take care of a kid first and foremost before worrying about anything else. Home run hire. She is going to be incredible. She will fit in perfectly at Bremen. We're just excited to bring her on. And again, in our quest to always, hire great people, she is an absolute Hall of Famer in that category, and she's just scratching the surface of her career. So it's really exciting to see where she's going to go in her career and where it's going to take her, and knowing that our kids are going to benefit from that is really exciting for me. So, Mr. Knott, Mr. Montgomery, anything you guys want to add to that?
Well, I think when she was telling that story, I looked and I just had a smiley face on my, and that literally was the long note, because the entire interview was me going, oh yes, I can see this fitting in with the team. I can see that this is a Bremen teacher. Those kinds of things were going through my mind. And then, I'm all for someone who says, hey, every once in a while you can't figure it out, so I have no problem saying, hey, so-and-so, tell me what I can do here in these situations. She's been very transparent about, hey, I'm in a good place with this, because I ask these questions and I learn from other people and I apply that to my classroom, so I look forward to that, seeing that grow with her too. Her positivity will be a perfect fit for the building. She's going to have two great colleagues to work with at that grade level that will really support her, and I look forward to seeing her shine.
Absolutely. I can see the passion from the interview and the energy she has. I think she's going to be a great fit for the team. And first and foremost, what I care about is that the person that we're bringing in, are they going to care about my kiddos at the school? And I think absolutely she's going to do that. So I think it's a great fit.
Lane, anything you'd like to say?
Thank you all for the super kind words. I'm very excited to be joining the district. And like I said, I love to ask questions and learn. So I'm excited to learn as a teacher. Like you said, I'm barely scratching the surface, so I have a lot to learn. So I'm excited to learn and help my kids learn too.
All right. Would there be a motion to approve a one-year teacher contract for Lane Predmore at Bremen Elementary, grade 2?
I move to approve the contract for Lane Predmore.
Okay, motion by Mr. Smeltzer. Will there be a second?
I will second.
Okay, second, Mrs. Conrad Zangmeister. Mrs. Roberts?
Mr. Smelter.
Yes.
Mrs. Conrad Zangmeister.
Yes.
Mrs. Johns.
Yes.
Mr. Kimmerer.
Yes.
Lane?
That's wonderful.
Congratulations.
All right. So moving on to 6.2. Approval of another teacher contract here, a one-year teacher contract for Hunter Stewart, also at Bremen, grade 4 this time. Mr. Belleville, do you want to give us any updates on?
Absolutely. I'm not sure what I was expecting when we interviewed Hunter, but when he left, it was one of those situations where we all turned, look at each other and like, all right, we can't let him not be here. He has to be in our building. It was one of those type of interviews that just like hit you like a ton of bricks. When you talk about transformative educators, like his picture's in the dictionary. In 4th grade, that's a really difficult age, especially knowing our kids are going to go from elementary to the middle school. That 5th grade year is always a challenge. Hunter has a lot of experience in that area dealing with 4th, 5th grade students. And when you sit and talk to him about education, it is, he makes you want to go like run through a wall. I mean, he was talking about, his students and not that the test is like the end all to be all, but he already has that mentality of if they're keeping score, I want to win. And so we're going to put our head down, we're going to go to work, and we are going to keep working until we get it to where we want it. And he has a proven track record in that. His passage rate for his students was up around 80%, which is just astronomical, very impressive. During the interview, we're secretly taking notes, trying to figure out what he's doing to get to 80%, because we want to steal it just in case he says no to our job offer. And just hearing talk about that, well, basically there's no magic bullet. It was, we saw what the test was, we know what the kids needed, so it was literally let's dig in, let's create, let's raise expectations, raise the bar. And the kids will meet us there and just set that level of professionalism, that level of, failure's not an option type of attitude, and just incredibly inspiring for someone, again, so young in their career to have that mindset of, these aren't obstacles, these aren't things that are hard, it just requires work. And we're going to put our head down and go to work, and we're going to be successful. It was just a belief, a strong belief in him that really grabbed my attention right off the bat. So, we walked away from the interviews, and we're going to talk about one more new hire here in a second. And as we walked away from, trying to think about how all the puzzle pieces are going to fit together, you just smile and say, I can't believe we're this lucky to be able to grab people of this caliber. So just really excited to bring Hunter on board. He is going to be a great addition to the team. I think he will be able to connect quickly with a lot of our students, and that's a great thing. So really excited for this. Mr. Knott, Mr. Montgomery, anything?
We had an incredible amount of folks put in for these positions. And I was on there reading application. I went through the whole thing. Hunter was one of the first ones that put in, and I'm not sure what it was, but he just kept coming up. I would read other ones, and I would just keep moving his to the top, And so I'm so glad I did. Never met him ever, but after the first question and his answer, I thought, okay, we need him here. And it was just, it really was a good conversation organically, just back and forth about what he feels like he brings to the table, what he wants from a school district, and you could just see that it was a good match for us. I'm excited for the incoming 4th grade kiddos. I'm excited for the 4th grade team, and I look forward to seeing him do a very nice job.
This one come.
I came from teaching 5th grade before I started here, and it's a real mixture of, I think, two things: rigor and rapport. And after that interview, I think he has those exact two things. And like Mr. Knott just said, I'm really excited for those 4th grade students, because I really think they're going to have a great experience with him. I think he has exactly what they need to succeed in both socially and academically in that classroom. So I think he's going to be a great fit.
Hunter, anything?
It's been a blessing meeting everyone so far. It's been a very inclusive school district, coming from a good one to another great one. I look forward to building those relationships further with new teammates and my administration and the board. Thank you for the warm welcome. Look forward to getting to meet the kids at Bremen and building on that foundation you guys have already laid for me.
Awesome. All right. So do we have a motion to approve a one-year teacher contract?
So moved.
Okay, moved by Mrs. Conrad Zangmeister. Do we have I'll second. How about that?
There you go.
So Mrs. Roberts?
Mrs. Conrad Zangmeister.
Yes.
Mrs. Johns.
Yes.
Mr. Kimmer.
Yes.
Mr. Smeltzer.
Yes.
Welcome.
Congrats.
Former full-time teacher myself, so.
Yes, ma'am.
Nice to meet you. Just a quick aside before we move on, my fourth grade teaching days was when all of the state testing was in fourth grade, every subject, and no other grade levels at that time. It was the beginning of state testing, and Mr. Stewart, I absolutely kept score. I was in it to win it every day, so I like hearing that. All right, moving on. Another stellar job candidate coming up here, Willie Hope here. We're looking to approve a one-year teacher contract for Brooke Holt as an elementary school teacher. I notice we're not specifying anything at this time on that.
The carousel of dominoes falling as we post a spot and internal people will apply for it. So we don't know exactly where Ms. Holt's going to plug into, but when we get to that point, we know we have an opening. We'll be able to plug her in fairly soon. But the reason I am bringing Brooke forward this evening is this has been several years in the making. Obviously, Brooke is a Fairfield Union grad. We were able to see her come through school and the just tremendous high school career she had and the contributions she made as a student here. And then over the past few years, Brooke was one of the first students that we had that we approved for the non-bachelor's substitute teaching license. So as she was working her way through school to High University on breaks and when school was in session in Athens, she would come here and substitute teach in our classrooms. So for the last 3+ years, we've been able to see her in action. So this was an interview, we're going to say like 7-8 years in the making. We've been able to work with Brooke and just see the tremendous influence and impact she's already had on students here at Fairfield Union. So whenever she applied for a spot and we were kind of going through that process of internal movements and trying to hire people, as we are getting deeper into May, I just could not risk losing such a talented and gifted educator. So we'll, and to Brooke's credit, and again, this speaks to the quality of human being we're hiring here. When I first called her and said, I'm not for sure where this is going to be. Here's the situation. She pretty much stopped me and said, listen, I just want to be at Fairfield Union. I'll do anything. You put me where the district needs me and I'll get to work. And that, that attitude is incredible to begin with, but the fact we've been able to see her in action, watch her teach, and again, when I say impactful on kids' lives, she's already started that. Those kids, she does a lot of her work in Pleasantville, but has been in multiple buildings. When those kids see her, they truly light up, and that's not something that you can fake. That's not something that you can teach. That is a God-given natural ability, and she has it in spades. And so we're extremely excited to bring her into the district, and hopefully we'll know exactly where that's going to be in the district, in short order. But just beyond excited. When she graduated a few years ago, and I heard she was majoring in education, I stopped her at graduation in the line and said, you do not accept any jobs anywhere without talking to me first. So this has been several years in the making. I'm extremely excited that we're finally at the finish line. So I know Mr. Knott and Ms. Tokars have worked with Brooke quite a bit. And anything you guys want to share?
I can remember when she first started on the subbing, she came to Bremen and I kind of showed her around things, and instantly she understood the important thing was to get to know the kids and to build that rapport. And so fast forward to today when I'm in the hallway and she's got the kids in the line and she's using a good relationship yet having that firm tone of, okay, get this line going, we need to get down the hallway, and just the growth and just those itty bitty things that I've saw over the years, I'll point in a good direction for her, and I'm excited for her.
Yeah, Brooke is a light at Pleasantville. Every time she goes back to school, we're like, I'm like, oh, can we get Brooke? No, she's back at school. So, but she embodies everything that we believe in at Pleasantville. She is flexible, she's friendly, she's there to serve, and we're excited for her.
Brooke, anything?
Well, first, thank you for the kind words, everyone. But I'm truly just so grateful and blessed to have the opportunity to come back to Fairfield Union. I graduated in 2022, and I've been subbing for the past 4 years. So the goal and the dream has always been to come back to Fairfield Union. And I'm just so excited and so blessed to be able to give back to a community that gave me so much as a student.
Wonderful. All righty. So would there be a motion to approve a one-year teacher contract for Brooke Holt as an elementary school teacher?
I move to approve the one-year teacher contract for Brooke Holt.
All right, moved by Mr. Kemmer. Will there be a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Smeltzer. Mrs. Roberts?
Mr. Kimmerer?
Yes.
Mr. Smelter?
Yes.
Mrs. Conrad Zingmeister?
Yes.
Mrs. Johns?
Yes.
Brooke?
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you. Congratulations. Thank you so much.
Well, I think this would be a good time to say that our new hires, administrators, everybody, if you would like to head on out, that would not be disrespectful. We totally get it. Like Mr. Kimmer said, it's that time of year, so we all know you've got a lot going on. Of course, you're welcome to stay, but don't need to do so.
Appreciate you guys. You can leave.
Well, that was fun.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was fun.
Seems like a good group.
It was uplifting, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Always fun.
Yeah.
All righty. That moves.
It was exciting after those interviews. I mean,
Yeah. Yeah.
those are some outstanding people,
Mhm.
without a doubt.
Mhm. All right, so that moves us to 6.4, transfer of Lauren Hahn from kindergarten teacher to intervention specialist, beginning 26-27 school year.
Yeah, this kind of aligns with some of Lauren's personal goals. I think eventually one day she has aspirations to potentially be a school psychologist or something along those lines, and so this is kind of a natural progression to take on the role of an intervention specialist. And to her credit, she saw an opportunity and approached us with it, and I think she'll do a tremendous job. So excited to see her in that role.
That's great. Would there be a motion to approve?
So moved.
Moved by Mr. Smeltzer. Would there be a second?
I'll second it.
Second by Mrs. Conrad Zangmeister. Mrs. Roberts?
Mr. Smelter?
Yes.
Mrs. Conrad Zingmeister?
Yes.
Mrs. Johns?
Yes.
Mr. Kimmerer?
Yes.
Mr. Belleville, excuse me to back up just a minute.
Yeah.
It does just say intervention specialist.
Yeah.
We don't know where
Well,
specifically.
there's a kind of a couple dominoes here. We had a middle school intervention specialist opening. Kendra Schreiner had resigned. Veronica Dalrymple, who is at Bremen Elementary School, requested to go to the middle school. So we have made that transfer last board meeting or board
Yes.
meeting before last.
Mhm.
So that created an opening at Bremen Elementary School, and that's what we posted. Sierra Roberts is an intervention specialist with us, and she splits her duties between Pleasantville and Bremen due to the caseloads at the elementary schools. Sierra requested if she could she just stay at Bremen full-time? And she was at Bremen full-time prior to taking on the split spot. So Sierra will fill Veronica Dalrymple's spot. So now that created a split between Bremen and Pleasantville. So that's kind of where we have Lauren penciled in. There is a chance that one of our intervention specialists at Pleasantville will take a job a little bit closer to home, just new baby at home and the travel, some of those type of things. If that happens, we'll have a full-time spot at Pleasantville, and Lauren would rather be at Pleasantville full-time where she is now. If that happens, we will slide Lauren into that spot and look to hire a new intervention specialist. So for right now, Lauren will be in that split spot between Bremen and Pleasantville, but all of that is kind of, all right, let's see what happens. Kind of
Sure.
like with Brooke, we're trying to be a little proactive in these hires. We're not for sure exactly where the dominoes are gonna finish falling, but even though it's only May 4th, in hiring circles, we're getting late in the game. If you get into summer, you're really scrambling to hire people at that point. So we're just trying to be a little proactive and let the game come to us a little bit.
All right.
Good question. I appreciate you asking.
Mhm. Okay, so,
God bless Christy Smith, by the way. She has kind of like a baseball score sheet where she's keeping
Yeah.
track of all this
Yeah.
movement. So
Absolutely.
It's,
Yeah.
it's been a process. So.
Mhm. All right, so that moves us on to 6.5, the resignation of Ashlyn Vance as bus driver, effective at the end of her current contract.
And she's on a one-year contract, so it'll be at the end of this school year.
Okay, would there be a motion to approve the resignation?
So moved.
Moved by Mrs. Conrad Zangmeister, I will second. Mrs. Roberts?
Mrs. Conrad Zangmeister.
Yes.
Mrs. Johns.
Yes.
Mr. Kimmer.
Yes.
Mr. Smeltzer.
Yes.
All right. Motion approved. That moves us to 6.6. The substitute teacher list as presented there. It's never as long as we want it to be. Any questions or anything about that?
I move to approve the substitute teacher list.
Great. Will there be a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Smeltzer. Mrs. Roberts?
Mr. Kimmer.
Yes.
Mr. Smeltzer.
Yes.
Mrs. Conrad Zangmeister.
Yes.
Mrs. Johns.
Yes. All right, 6.7, the substitute classified list. Again, I know we always need more and more people for that. If there are no questions on that, we'll entertain a motion to approve.
I move that we approve the substitute classified lists.
All right, will there be a second?
I'll second.
Second by Mrs. Conrad Zangmeister. Mrs. Roberts?
Mr. Smeltzer.
Yes.
Mrs. Conrad Zangmeister.
Yes.
Mrs. Johns.
Yes.
Mr. Kimmer.
Yes.
All right. Motion carried. 6.8, motion to approve the class of 2026 for graduation on May 24th of 2026, pending completion of all state and local requirements.
So moved.
All right, moved by Mrs. Conrad Zangmeister, I will second. Mrs. Roberts?
Mrs. Conrad Zangmeister.
Yes.
Mrs. Johns.
Yes.
Mr. Kimmer.
Yes.
Mr. Smeltzer.
Yes.
Alrighty, motion passed. Let's go on to 6.9 here. Motion to approve Hannah Penrose to take FFA students to FFA Camp Muskingum in Carrollton, Ohio, June 1st through 5th. I think that's a
Pretty standard.
Yeah.
standard
Yeah.
thing that we
Yes,
do
ma'am.
every year.
Every year.
Approved to Hannah Penrose to take the FFA students to the FFA camp.
Second.
Moved by Mr. Kimmer, second by Mrs. Conrad Zangmeister. Mrs. Roberts?
Mr. Kimmer.
Yes.
Mrs. Conrad Zangmeister.
Yes.
Mrs. Johns.
Yes.
Mr. Smeltzer.
Yes.
Alrighty, motion passed, moves us on to 6.10. Approve Judd Baker to take FFA students to FFA Camp Muskingum in Carrollton, Ohio, June 7th through 12th. Again, this is a standard thing, so would there be a motion to approve?
I move that we approve Judd Baker to take FFA students to FFA camp.
Alright, motion by Mr. Smeltzer, Would there be a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Kemmer. Mrs. Roberts?
Mr. Smeltzer?
Yes.
Mr. Kimmer?
Yes.
Mrs. Conrad Zangmeister?
Yes.
Mrs. Johns?
Yes. Alrighty, motion passed. Moving on to 6.11, Chartwell's contract.
So this is, oh, I'm sorry.
No, I was just gonna say, ask you to speak to that for us.
Apologize.
So,
This is actually surprisingly our 5th year of the Chartwell's contract.
Really?
I know. So it has been 5 years already. You can see that I listed out the management fee as well as the administrative fee. They usually go up by the same percent as the consumer price index, so they are following that for both areas. While this is for next year, just putting this out there, just as a reminder, we will have to go back out to bid middle of next year. We have all, thinking we would still stick with Chartwell's, but just legally, we will have to go back out to bid mid-year. So just putting that out there, that would be a mid-year, process that we would have to go through. But this is for our 5th year.
when I came in the other day for the National Honor Society honors
Yeah.
thing, it was during a lunch period, and I overheard several people who were there to watch that event say, boy, that school lunch smells really good, looked like it was really good, so I was thinking,
Yeah.
come a long way
Yeah.
over the years in the school lunch world. All right, would there be a motion to approve the Chartwell's contract? Or do we have to do, yeah, we have to.
I move to approve the Chartwell's contract.
All righty, moved by Mr. Kemmer, would there be a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Smeltzer. Mrs. Roberts?
Mr. Kimmer?
Yes.
Mr. Smeltzer?
Yes.
Mrs. Conrad Zangmeister?
Yes.
Mrs. Johns?
Yes. All right, motion passed. That moves us on to 7.1, executive session.
I would need executive session for number 1, no action after.
All right, so would there be a motion to adjourn to executive session for item number 1?
So
No
moved.
motion after. All right, moved by Mrs. Conrad Zangmeister. I will second. Mrs. Roberts?
Mrs. Conrad Zangmeister?
Yes.
Mrs. Johns?
Yes.
Mr. Kimmer?
Yes.
Mr. Smeltzer?
Yes.